They said boycott, be bald-headed. We said, who bald-headed? And what I say about writing checks that your ass can't cash, that bit might bounce, ain't it? That bit might bounce, ain't it? Peep the date. That's fresh. That's new. And I can't help but wonder if had they not went so brazen and got so nasty in their videos towards us specifically, would we have stood tall on this? Or just went back to regular scheduled programming like we normally do when it's usually these fake outrages. But this time it was a real one. See, you guys turned it into it needing to be a boycott when you expressed how bad you really hated us. When you went online and told us exactly how you felt about us, even though we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars with you guys' business. See, we simply said, hey, you guys, talking to our own, let's just go ahead and come together and open up our own businesses where they actually respect us. And then the other community heard we're boycotting the businesses. That's not what it was. Although there isn't a specific number about how much Koreans actually own in the U.S. when it comes to beauty supply, news reports suggest that it's about 70% in the United States, and that attributes for most of the black hair care market. And see, the beauty care industry is not the only industry that Korea bases its economy on. It is also tech. But here's the thing. Just think about a table with 4 legs. If one leg is wobbly, the whole table is not stable. And Korea is seeing that happen in live time. See, these are the Korean tech companies that attribute for most of Korea's economy and how they make their money. And you know, tech is usually strong. It's taken over the world. It's innovation, right? But here's the thing that everybody's been talking about, but they're talking about it on lower levels, not necessarily higher levels where you can understand where it might affect big businesses. AI is taking over, sweeping across the world and taking human jobs, but replacing technology as we see it. So again, back to that wobbly leg on the table that I was speaking about. If we have Korea and the table is Korea's economy, South Korea that is, and let's say beauty supply and hair is one leg and another leg is the tech. Just because tech is failing is not necessarily going to make the whole table fall because it's on a foundation of 3 other legs, right? So it's just wobbly. But what happens when the other leg can't compensate? The whole table falls. Now see, Amora Pacific and LG Health and Household is responsible for South Korea's beauty industry economy, okay? See, the South Korean stock market, called the KOSPI, saw one of their largest stock market drops in history. Okay, that was on June 23rd, where it dropped nearly 10%. The one right before that was June 8th, where it dropped 8%. So it just made me go digging a little bit deeper into the dates because analytics works a certain way. Everything has a cause and effect. Mind you, the Chow verdict came in June 1st. So subsequently after June 8th, we see the stock market start to plummet, and then it takes its second largest plummet on June 23rd. That's not by accident. That is by design. And of course, the news is going to blame the rise in AI and it taking over technology for South Korea's stock market plummeting. And they're not going to validate the second half of their economy and that in the U.S., which they solely base most of their...
The Korean stock market crashed a week ago. Keep up the Asian boycott. Some of y'all are very ignorant. I'm not going to say dumb out of respect, but they are ignorant. Ignorance means you do not know or you are not educated in that topic. And it's okay to be ignorant. I'm ignorant about a lot of things. I don't know everything about the world. But as much as people can see on the news that the Korean stock market crashed, you should be able to Google it real quick to see why it crashed. At first, I was shocked to see people taking credit for this, saying it's because of these Asian boycotts on nail salons. But then I'd be reading the comments, and many people agree. And then I'll finally see a logical and intelligent comment that says, what does the Korean stock market crashing have anything to do with the Asian boycott? Look, I love black people. I have black friends. I want us all to get along. But some of y'all need to police up some of this ignorance, just like how I'm going to police up some of this anti-black hate. Like that Asian guy that burned that cross. No, that is not okay, and he should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Well done and greetings. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We're looking at some words on the streets, and we don't see how that really correlates. But that is what we're trying to analyze today. 2-3 days after the black boycott began on Asian business as a result of the young man's life who was on a life, and the black community decided to reinvest their money into black-owned businesses. News are springing that the South Korean economy had a crash, or had a downward trend, and the black people are attributing it to the black boycott. For me personally, I don't really think that is true, because are you trying to say that the effect of black boycott, which is just an aspect of business that Korean is doing, is what is keeping the entire South Korean economy afloat? And so these people are coming out, especially some Asians, to debunk that information. We'll be looking at a couple of videos, and we'll be coming back to give you a comprehensive analysis of what our thoughts and our opinions are. So if you're coming across my YouTube channel, you're welcome. If this is your first time, please kindly hit the subscription button, hit that notification button, so that when we bring up updates, you'll be the first to be notified. So we'll have a couple of videos to share with you. All credits to the original content creators. Let us dive in right, guys.
Thought about something, and I looked at the statistical data surrounding it. The average dollar stays in the Asian community for 28 days. It circulates throughout the Asian community, meaning that it goes from one Asian to the next for 28 days, making it the longest rotation of money within a community of people out of all the races in the United States. They beat out Caucasian Americans, they beat out Latino Americans, they beat out Native Americans. It was the Asians. They kept their money to themselves for 28 days. And you know how long black people keep their money within their community? 6 hours.
What?
6 whole hours. A dollar stays within a black person's hand and goes to another black person before it leaves our community. So you see, the reason why they are mad that you are deciding not to patronize their businesses is because you are essentially doing exactly the very same thing that they have been doing. And it's been successful for them. It has helped them. It has helped their kids go to colleges and become scholars. It has helped their businesses to expand. And what has it done for us but keep us in a position of being what they want us to be, which is consumers? It all makes sense now. We just got to look at the math.
I ain't buying shit out of there. We'll find somewhere. I'm not buying nothing out of there, bro.
You think it's Korean?
I know. I Google, I AI that shit. This whole motherfucking establishment Korean. And I already, on my accounts, I'm already hollering at all the black, Dallas investors and everything. This shit right here ain't gonna go on. You smack dead in the motherfucking hood with that shit, but that's how they do. That's how they run that shit, though. Yeah, that's how they always run that shit. Disrespect you and just take your motherfucking money. I ain't for that, man. Like, I believe in God. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got nothing for me. Hell, I walked in that bitch with a stain on the back of my motherfucking shirt. You know what I'm saying? I can keep it going until I find what I'm looking for. I'm cool. I didn't know at first. If I'd known at first, I'd been like, no, baby, we're gonna keep that past.
I thought,
I got blacks, and no, they leasing it out. They leasing it out to them. No, we need some black investors.
We need some food.
We gonna get some food too, but what we need the most, we can pay. What we need the most is some black motherfucking investors for to buy this shit off. That's what we need to do. Get their ass up out of here.
Followers, viewers, supporters, if you like what I'm doing and you're with the movement, please donate to my Cash App and support the cause. $FOXI22. That's Cash App again, FOXI22. Thank you so much.
So what you and I have got to do is get involved. You and I have to be right there breathing down their throat. Every time they look over their shoulder, we want them to see us. We want to make them pass the strongest civil rights bill they've ever passed. Because we know even after they pass it, they can't enforce it.
So I had some quick thoughts about the Asian boycott and everything that's going on right now tied to the Cyrus case. And when I sit here and think about it, I can't begrudge anyone for saying that they don't want to shop with Asian-owned businesses anymore, especially after the response that we've seen after the trial. It's damn near like droves of Asian people gloating that Rick Chow got away with the crime that he did. So it's like just seeing things like that and not many Asian people speaking up about the verdict. And if they speak up about the verdict, it's in support of what happened. I can understand why people are like, yo, I don't want to shop with these businesses anymore. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And look at a lot of the reaction. I can understand. But for me personally, what I've taken this time as is time to kind of do an internal audit of my spending habits. You know what I mean? So, for example, last month in May, I spent around $2,000, not counting bills and things of that nature. I spent $2,000. Only around $150 was spent with Black-owned businesses. One was the club that I enjoy going to. Didn't pay a cover, but I went in and I spent around $60 to $80 total on drinks. The other one, I bought a hat for like $60. And then the last one, I think I got some food from a place. That's not enough. You know what I mean? Like, when I compare it to how much I spend with other businesses, it's not enough. I'm in New York City, so I don't have the excuse of saying like, oh, there's no Black-owned businesses here. There's no Black-owned restaurants or, beauty supply stores or X, Y, Z. It exists here. So that's on me. I have to take the time to do the research and do these things to understand who I'm spending the money with. And with that audit, I can notice it affecting like my life personally, because it's like I've been doing work on my car recently, right? And I have to get my brakes changed. And beforehand, I wouldn't have even thought to do any research to see if there were any Black-owned, mechanic shops, body shops around me. But now I've done that research and I figured out, oh shit, my family knows a dude that owns his own shop and he does great work and it's a great price. And he works on German cars. So it's like, it's just one of those things that taking that extra time and doing that extra research, it's benefited me. You know what I mean? And this isn't even a situation where it's an Asian-owned business. I would have ended up going to the Midas. And the Midas franchise close to me is owned by a white dude. So you know what I mean? It's like, for me personally, I've just treated it as an internal audit. And this month already, I've exceeded the amount that I've spent with Black businesses while I'm on track to spend less money overall this month. So it's like a win-win. I'm spending less money and a higher percentage of the money that I spend is with Black-owned businesses. So, of course, if what you choose to do is boycott Asian-owned businesses, I'm not begrudging you. But even beyond that, I think the main point of everything that we're doing should be to support Black-owned businesses, should be to shop with Black-owned businesses. And a lot of times you'll realize it's more convenient, it's more cost-effective, and it's a better service experience. I'll just speak for myself because that's been my experience so far. So, give it a try, even if you're not one of the people that's on board with the boycott or whatever, give it a try, do some research, find out the Black-owned shops around you and where you could fit them in. You get what I'm saying? So
The boycott that is being enforced by the Black community is not other different from any other place where people choose to rise up to a cause. Like we always are taught while we're in school concerning marketing. We're taught that the marketer is, the customer is always right, and the consumer has the choice to buy, the power to buy, and the will to buy. And so if the customer feels different how he or she chooses to spend the money. I don't think that the producer should have, or the seller has an issue with the choice of the consumer, and rather it is to find ways of mediating or profiling so that you can be able to get the people back to the negotiation table. And so in these videos, we could see that the black community, the black folks are saying, we've had enough of all of this racial profiling abuse. We welcome you into our community, we love you, we receive you with open arms, but at the end of the day, we are not reciprocated with the same virtues and gestures, the same way you guys receive from us, and we're saying no, we're not going to take that anymore. And in regards to the South Korea economic collapsing, I don't think it has any correlation to do with the black business boycott. I don't think that a community in America has that enormous strength financially to cripple an entire nation's economy, even though you have about an average of $1 trillion that is being spent annually by the black communities. And so let us go on and see what continues to unfold in this issue. If you are coming across my YouTube channel, please feel free to subscribe and hit that notification button. So let's get into the comment section. Let the conversation begin. See you on my next video.